Welcome to Nesaquake News.
Let's get right to a couple of announcements. Nesaquake's annual book fair is taking place right now in the library. There are so many great reads and gifts for the entire family. Let's go to Alex for more information.
And did you know that the proceeds from the book fair go directly to the library and the Digital Media Club for more equipment? So, don't miss out. Stop by the book fair today.
Good, and my name is Timothy Shirovic.
Okay, so what book are you going to buy?
I'm buying two big Nate books because I find it interesting because they have comics and I like reading comics and they make me laugh and pretty much laugh.
Where's the comics here? Okay, what book are you going to buy?
The Last Kids on Earth, the Zombie Parade. It's very interesting.
Alright, I'll be right there. Hi, so what's your name?
Tristan.
Okay, so what book are you going to buy?
Game On.
And why do you want to buy it?
Because it talks about video games and I like them.
Okay. Okay, so what's your name?
I'm Mrs. Losardo.
Okay, so what would you get?
Well, I bought this poster for my son because he loves to play video games, so I thought he'd enjoy that.
You're an English teacher. I'm kind of surprised you didn't get a book.
Oh, ouch. Well, I have to say in my November Scholastic book order, I did get 20, and it's the holiday season, and I got to save money for presents. Sorry.
Now for an important announcement. The peer tutoring program is back by popular demand. We are looking for volunteers to tutor in all academic subjects, including foreign language. You must have a B+ or better in that subject to apply. Please sign up in the counseling center if you would like to be a peer tutor, or if you need a tutor. All sessions take place during your lunch period.
Now let's go to Robert for his weekly book suggestion, The Jedi Academy.
Hello there, I'm Robert Wilson, and I'd like to talk about one of my favorite graphic novel series, the Jedi Academy series by Jeffrey Burnett. Jedi Academy tells the story of a young Padawan named Ronan, and who is going to school at the Jedi Academy on Coruscant. On this journey, he goes to iconic places and planets across the Star Wars universe. For fans of Die Over the Kid and Star Wars alike, these are must-reads in the graphic novel section at the Nesaquake Library.
Thank you, Robert. And now for Nesaquake's question of the week. This week, I asked the Nesaquake family, if you could invent anything, what would you invent? And here are some of the responses. What's your name?
Sarah.
If you could invent anything in the world, what would you invent?
Time travel.
So what's your name?
Oh, Mrs. Biancardo.
If you could invent anything, what would you invent?
Well, as a technology teacher in the school, that's a pretty tough question. If I could invent anything, I think it would have to have something to do with some kind of utopian city where cars were hovering above the ground and dropping people off at various levels of the building. Something very futuristic that you might have seen in a sci-fi movie.
What's your name?
Elena.
If you could invent anything in the world, what would you invent?
I would invent a robot to clean my room.
So what's your name?
I'm Kanan.
If you could invent anything, what would you invent?
I would probably invent something that would help me come up with more creative ideas, because lately I've been less creative for me.
Thank you for all your input. Next week's question will be, what is your favorite class and why?
Thank you so much, Trudy. And now we go to Timothy for the upcoming week in weather.
Thank you. This week is looking to be temps above 50 degrees for the most of the week, with rainy days for Tuesday and Wednesday. Thursday and Friday is looking to be mostly sunny with temps around high 40s to low 50s. This week it will be cooler with temperatures in the mid-40s, but with partly cloudy skies. Now back to you.
Thank you, Timothy. Looking for something to do next week? How about joining us for Family Paint Night on December 8th from 7 to 8:30 p.m. in the Nesaquake cafeteria. The cost is $25 per adult, $15 per children.
Do you love to write? Well, we have just the club for you. The Writers Club, new members are always welcome. The Writers Club meets every Monday in the library at 7:15 a.m.
Each week we will be showcasing a member of the Nesaquake staff. This week, I had a chance to interview Miss Porter, and I got to ask her why she decided to become a teacher. Here's what she had to say.
Hi, what's your name?
Mrs. Porter,
Why did you choose to teach?
that's a great question, Eleanor. So, when I was in college, all of my friends wanted to become teachers. And I didn't. I wanted to be a social worker and have a criminology background. So when I graduated college, while they all went off and found teaching jobs, I actually wanted to become a police officer. So I took a couple of police tests. I scored really, really well, but they just never called me. So then I had to think of something else to do. So I started working for something called Child Protective Services. I don't know if you guys know what that is, CPS, right?
Yeah.
Which really helps look out for kids who might be being abused or neglected. And I often had to go to schools to interview them. So every time I would go to a school, I would say, you know what, this is really what I like. This is what I want to do. I want to be able to work with kids every day in the environment, though, that makes them really happy. So I was about 28 years old, and I decided that I was going to go back to school to become a teacher. I did. I went back to school. 2 years later, I graduated, and I was lucky enough to get a job right away in Smithtown, and it's been 16 years, and I've been here ever since, and I love it every single day.
That's amazing, Miss Porter. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for interviewing me. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Miss Porter, for your time.
Thank you for joining us, and don't forget to follow us on Twitter. Have a wonderful week.